The following program contains shocking portrayals of action. If you suffer from cowardice, Randall may not be right for you. Check with your video game supplier.
Proclaiming the truth in the highways and byways of the world. Fighting for justice in the dark alleys of politics. Raising the voice of resistance to a fevered pitch. And he knows where to find the best and worst jail food in America. Randall Terry.
Hello, friend. Welcome to the program. It is I, your servant Randall. We're going to have a very entertaining program for you today, I promise. Talking about the Doonesbury comic guy, Gary Trudeau, and about Joe Biden, and about the Republicans, and about Afghanistan. So much to cover. Hopefully, so much wisdom to bring you. Today's program brought to you in part by Joe Biden, proving that the son of a coal miner who's arguably really unintelligent can get to really high places of power. And by Gary Trudeau. Did he kill one of his own babies? We've asked him. I'll be right back after a quick word from my friend, Sir Reginald Bling. Just turn the thing on, I got something to say. Randall Terry is a victim of his own success. You may have heard that Mr. Terry's program is going to be temporarily, I emphasize, temporarily suspended from the Legacy Television Network because he is a federal candidate and he is tearing it up against Obama. There are people right now that are watching him like a hawk, trying to swoop down in on the prey. But Mr. Terry, he's too quick, he's too mobile, he's too agile for them to get him. But nevertheless, for the time being, beginning in April, we are not going to see this fine man on the television until December. My only prayer for you is that you can survive until he come back. Welcome to the program, friend. It is I, your servant Randall. Joe Biden. Look deep into his eyes. He frightens me. He doesn't frighten me because he's so evil, although I do believe he is evil. He frightens me because he's so stupid. Now, please don't be offended. When I say that Joe Biden is stupid, I mean that literally, that he's not an intelligent man. What he is funny, he's articulate, he's well-spoken, but he's not wise. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Do you understand? Joe Biden clearly does not fear God. He says he's Catholic. He goes to receive communion. I was at a mass in D.C. not too long ago where he rolled up with his Secret Service entourage, went in, and people actually applauded after he received communion. That shows how derelict some people are in the church. But beyond that, it shows that he does not have the fear of God, which means that he, by biblical definition, is a fool. He is not wise, but he's articulate and he's funny. And this, to me, is a part of the crisis that we face in America as we look at people and try and discern, is this a good witch or a bad witch? We confuse good looks, a flashy smile, a pleasant face, articulate words that are so seductive and smooth like oil. We confuse all of that with wisdom and nobleness of character. And then you see somebody who's gruff, like Terry Jones, you know, the guy who put the Quran on trial and is putting Muhammad on trial, and he's got his handlebar mustache, and he's got a thick southern drawl, and he's just a little bit goofy to look at sometimes, all right? I like the man. And here's the phrase that keeps coming back to me. Terry Jones is God's joke on all of us. Because Terry Jones is doing what he does in the fear of God. He's trying, with the light that he has and the tools at his disposal, to do the right thing as he plays to please God and he plays for his own sake to the day of judgment. Joe Biden, on the other hand, much more articulate, better dressed, nice manicure, nice makeup when he needs it. But he's a demon, all right? He's a bad man. He promotes the murder of babies. He fights against the sacrament, the covenant of marriage. Okay? He's not a good man, but he's funnier than Terry Jones. Better looking by some standards, better dressed, more articulate. And so we confuse goodness with cleverness. It doesn't matter if someone's clever and articulate. He could be the court jester. Okay? The court jester was who he was because he was funny, because he was witty and articulate and could tell rhymes and could tell stories. But he was still the fool. He was still the jester. The problem we have in America right now is that the jesters are in control of much of the government. God help us. God give us wisdom and discernment. So we throw these fools out and put righteous men and women in. All right, Gary Trudeau. Speaking of fools. Now, some of you are too young to know this. But in the mid-1980s, there was, and we want to do about an 8-minute segment here, Gary, okay? In the mid-1980s, Dr. Bernard Nathanson, the late Dr. Bernard Nathanson, who has recently passed away, please, Jesus, receive him into your kingdom. Bernard Nathanson was a former child killer, okay? He murdered with his own hands some 60,000 babies. He literally killed his own child. His wife was pregnant and they didn't want a baby. There was something that, for some reason or another, he killed his own child, okay? He converted to Christ, totally repudiated all of child killing, and then made a movie called The Silent Scream. This was a film. It's absolutely horrifying. He paid somebody to do an ultrasound while the baby was being ripped apart. So in a black and white ultrasound, you actually see the baby struggling, moving around, trying to get away from the suction catheter, while the baby is then completely dismembered. First the legs, then the torso, then the head is crushed. It's horrifying. So Gary Trudeau, the comic strip author of Doonesbury, back in the mid-1980s, mocked The Silent Scream in his cartoon strip. Many newspapers refused to carry it. He said, the little baby's name is Timmy, and Timmy's lips can surely be shown to say, overturn Roe versus Wade. He just mocked Bernard Nathanson and mocked the ultrasound and mocked the baby. Well, now that Texas has passed a law that women who are going to kill their baby have to at least first look at their baby with an ultrasound, of course, the whole intent of that is that a woman will see, oh my God, this is my child. I cannot kill this baby. Right? That's the intent. Let's all be honest. Now that this law has passed in Texas, Trudeau is again mocking Texas, mocking the ultrasound life-saving goal of this movement of people. And it hit me. I wonder if he killed a baby. I wonder if in his days of free love at the university, he got some girl pregnant and took her to kill his baby. I wonder if a family member killed their baby and he took them to the abortion mill. Maybe he paid for someone to kill their baby. I sent out a press release 2 days ago asking Gary Trudeau to just tell us plainly, have you killed one of your children? Have you participated in the murder of someone else's child? Because I smell guilt in the air. When a man fights that hard against babies and against ultrasounds that show babies, my guess is, and I could be wrong, but my guess is he's got blood on his hands. He has a tormented conscience. Gary Trudeau, tell us plainly. If you killed a baby, you should be proud of it, right? If it's a constitutional right, you should be proud of it. I mean, you're proud of your comic strip and the First Amendment. Why not be proud of the right to murder your offspring? Why not boldly declare, I killed 2 of my children, and I'm proud of it? I mean, you can use whatever words you want. You could say you helped a woman exercise her constitutional right over her blah, blah, blah. Say whatever you want, but just tell us, did you participate in the murder of a baby, Gary? Is that what this is all about? I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I've got some fun words for Right Wing Watch and TDM Muckraker and Jezebel and all these lunatic baby killers who hate my guts, the Young Turks, all of them. And an interview that I did when I was in Oklahoma with a local radio station, which I'm certain helped me carry, oh, did I say this already? 18% of the vote in Oklahoma and defeat Obama in 14 counties. Yes? I'll be right back.
No, Randall wasn't at the Battle of the Alamo, and you wouldn't have been either if you were that sick.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylea Health and Energy. I've been making superb nutritional supplements for over 15 years, and from day one, I've partnered with Randall Terry, helping to fund his invaluable work in reclaiming our country's biblical and godly roots. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives since its inception.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 essential areas of nutrition your body needs on a daily basis. Each serving of the Total Living Drink provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, enzymes for better digestion and nutrient absorption, protein for building lean muscle mass so you can burn more fat for fuel, probiotics for better intestinal function, herbs for building energy and stamina, antioxidants for maximum immune function and disease prevention, and all the vitamins and minerals you need for slowing down aging and maximum health. You would have to take 30 to 40 capsules each day and spend almost $10 a day to match the over 30,000 milligrams of total nutrition in each scoop of the Total Living Drink. Order right now and get started on the amazing Total Living Drink. They come in 2 delicious flavors, Total Living Drink Greens and Total Living Drink Berry. And every single dollar we receive, we give a generous amount to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Visit us online at the address on your screen and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today, and for the daily price of a latte, you can get back on the road to better health and energy with Kylea's Total Living Drink.
You know something about Randall Terry? He just lights my fire. Oh, yeah. Ow! Don't go away. There's plenty more to go.
Welcome back to the program, friend. Hello, Jezebel. Hello, TPM Muckraker. Hi, Right Wing Watch. Hello, Huffington Post. I have a message for you. The great English essayist G.K. Chesterton said, "That which is ridiculous deserves to be ridiculed." The great prophet Elijah in the Bible, well, he actually mocked the prophets of Baal. You might remember, it's in 1 Kings chapter 18 if you don't. The prophets of Baal began to cut themselves, crying out to Baal to hear from his heaven and pour fire down to consume the offering. And of course, there is no Baal, it's all false deity. And they began to cry out more and more. And Elijah just started to mock him and said, "Oh, surely Baal is a god. Maybe he's asleep and he has to be awakened. Or maybe he's on a journey and you can't find him. Maybe he's going to the bathroom and he can't be disturbed." Yeah, that's what Elijah did to the prophets of Baal. He mocked them. Well, not to be outdone by the prophet Elijah, I have some mockery of my own that I'm going to give you guys in just a minute. But to set the stage, let me read to you a little bit of Jezebel's posting yesterday. And by the way, the Young Turks, you young fools out there, yeah, I'm talking about you, the Young Turk TV program. Here's what Jezebel said. Unhinged madman Randall Terry has a special message for our readers. I actually spent time looking at the insults that these various websites, there are literally hundreds of them out there that mock me regularly. I spent one evening in Oklahoma just pulling together all their insults. Some of them are pretty clever, guys, but you really need to expand your horizon, okay? Dig a little deeper. Have a little bit more intelligence with your insults. This does have a funny line. I'm not sure who didn't hug Randall Terry enough during his childhood. That was one of their good lines. And they also said, Terry seems to believe that people voted for him in Oklahoma, where I got 18% of the vote statewide, and I beat Obama in 14 counties, flat out beat a sitting president. The whiners at Jezebel, the baby killers at Jezebel say, Terry seems to believe that people voted for him because he's bravely standing against allowing women to decide what happens inside their own bodies, rather than voter disappointment with Obama after he refused to sign off on the Keystone Pipeline, blah, blah, blah. And then they say, the vast, breathtaking derangement of Randall Terry knows no bounds. Well, let me read to the boys and girls at Jezebel and all of these other places my script. This is the robocall that we sent out to 233,000 homes the day of the election. And I quote, pro-life Democrat, today you can use your vote to be a voice for unborn babies. Obama promotes the killing of babies by abortion and has attacked the church and religious liberty by demanding we pay for drugs that murder the unborn. You can send a message to Obama and the world that there are still pro-life Democrats who will use their vote to defend the unborn and religious liberty. The Democrat primary is today. Please vote Randall Terry for president for the sake of the babies. Paid for by Randall Terry for president. Thank you, and God bless you. Jezebel, those were my words. That's what motivated people to come out and vote against Obama. They love life. They love the babies. Now, let me give you a message, a word of warning. Your eternal souls hang in the balance. Come closer. Yes. Look into my eyes. I will testify against you on the day of judgment. My words that you have recorded will testify against you on the day of judgment because you have blood on your hands. You promote murder. You are accomplices to murder. And there's nothing that you can say or do that will change reality. So you go on about your little self-intoxicated, self-deluded business of mocking God and mocking his servants and mocking unborn babies and deluding yourself into thinking that you're somehow serving mankind to help murder mankind. But in the end, you will be brought before the judgment seat of Almighty God. And I pray for you that you have a conversion like Dr. Bernard Nathanson did, who used to kill babies and then became an ardent pro-lifer and came to Christ. And please God, he has died and has gone on to his eternal reward. He will be able to face God because he's been forgiven by Christ. If you die in your sin, you're going to be in deep, deep trouble. But if you will surrender and come to Christ, he will forgive you. That's to my friends at Jezebel and Huffington Post and TPM Muckraker and the Young Turks and Right Wing Watch and all the rest of you bizarre and absurd bloggers who fight against God and human life. I'll be back.
If Randall Terry, and I hope he does, beats Barack Obama in the Democratic primary, I will be torn whether to vote for Randall Terry or Mitt Romney. I hope you will too.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kailea Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
Victory will never be found by taking the line of least resistance. Sir Winston Churchill. Welcome back to the program, friend. When I was in Oklahoma campaigning, I did a lot of interviews and we captured some of them on camera. I'm going to play this one because it's instructional. Hope you enjoy it.
Virginia, okay. You're really showing hard in Oklahoma, doing the commercials and everything like that. Why? Why are you running against Obama? No.
Number one, I want to be a voice for conservative Democrats inside of the party who do not support the president's agenda when it comes to killing unborn babies, when it comes to his HHS mandates that churches and private insurance carriers carry drugs to kill the unborn, and also because I believe that our oil policy is suicide. We're funding terrorism when we could be completely energy independent.
How do you think you'll do here in Oklahoma?
Well, if I get 5 or 6% of the vote, it's a major embarrassment and rebuke to President Obama. If I get 10% of the vote, it's a national news story. If I get 15% of the vote, I get delegates. So we're hoping for 5 to 6 and shooting for at least 15.
And what have you been doing to get that?
We are handing out 100,000 pieces of literature. I'm doing interviews with newspapers and radio stations all over the state. We have run nearly 100 television ads, very hard-hitting ads. We've got Ann Coulter coming in this Saturday night to do a fundraiser for me, which also will help us with name recognition. Everything and anything that I can do to earn the vote of Oklahoma Democrats, we're doing it.
Now, most people would say you're getting Ann Coulter, you're running on very Republican issues, that you're not actually a Republican, that you're not actually a Democrat, you're a Republican. What's your answer to that?
I switched parties in order to run against President Obama. This was a tactical decision to be a voice for Democrats. I come from a family of Democrats. They're conservative. Most of the Democrats in this state are conservative. They're pro-life, they fear God, they're Christian folk. Obama has turned his back on those people. He holds them in contempt. This is their chance to send him a message and to let me be the messenger.
And will you have any kind of a watch party on Tuesday night here in Oklahoma?
We've got an office up in Tulsa, so we will have a campaign party and invite the press to come, and we'll be hooting and hollering whether it's 5% or 15 or heaven help us if it was a little bit more.
And how many more states do you have besides Oklahoma? I guess your own state, West Virginia.
I will be on the ballot in New Jersey for the primary. But in the general election, I'm running as an independent. On the ballot, I will be in Florida. I will be on the ballot in Florida, West Virginia, Colorado, Iowa. I will be a writing candidate in Ohio, Virginia, and North Carolina. And because of FCC laws, I will be able to run my ads during the general election, which are geared specifically for voter suppression against Obama. We've got polling data that shows that I can run this message and suppress his vote by 5 points and have no ill effect on whatever Republican candidate runs. So I could be the man that denies Obama the White House, not because I defeat him, but because I cause his defeat.
Okay, good.
Friend, please note that I use the words in interviews that I use on this show, and they play them on the air. And that's what it's going to take if we're going to end this killing. Say the words clearly that we mean. Speak boldly for the babies. I'm going to be right back with a quote from one of our earliest Supreme Court judges. This would be real torturous for the folks at the Huffington Post and Jezebel. Ooh. They slay the widow and the sojourner and murder the fatherless. And they say, the Lord does not see. The God of Jacob does not perceive. Understand, O dullest of the people. Fools, when will you be wise? He who planted the ear, does he not hear? He who formed the eye, does he not see? He who chastens the nations, does he not chastise?
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kailea Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
U.S. Supreme Court Justice Joseph Story said, "The real object of the First Amendment was not to countenance, much less to advance Mohammedanism or Judaism or infidelity by prostrating Christianity, but to exclude all rivalry among Christian sects and to prevent any national ecclesiastical patronage of the national government." In other words, the government is not going to give money to Christian denominations. However, there are now people in government and the talking heads of this world who use the First Amendment, or should I say abuse it, in order to prostrate Christianity to infidelity and to drive Christian ethics completely out of the public square. We must not, we cannot, we will not submit to this treachery.